So this is an SCX24. This is my first SCX24. Direct RC, who sponsors me, sends me stuff once in a while, sent me this. This is the Furitek 2632 MicroSilk outrunner system for the SCX24. Oops, there we go. So I'm going to install that here today. Take these out, make sure radio's off. Look at my really sophisticated labeling system. It's very lightweight when you compare it to my other 24 scales like the FCX24M. These just seem a little beefier. I do have some upgrades. I put on a aluminum skid plate, put on these weighted wheels from Vitrazzi, and an interior. I'll put that video here if you want to see those upgrades. I have a few more upgrades in my boxes and on the way for this. That's going to be really cool. But anyways, we're talking about the SCX24 today. I'm excited because it is my first, of course. Let me know where you started with the minis. I started with the FCX24 and the Hobby Plus CR18P. No, it looks like I'm going to have to take the battery tray off. Yeah. That's it. So one more time, this is the Furitek 2632. Comes with a motor. Really pretty. That. I like these little boxes. Here's my really low monopod. Furitek box filled with rocks. So this comes with a motor mount. And here's the tiny little MicroPython ESC. This is a 3S capable, I believe. Yeah. So that might be crazy. We'll try it on the stock battery first. So there's a little jumper in here. And this is a little Bluetooth module. Looks like it plugs in right here. The Furitek app is really cool. I have it on, I have a Furitek system in my rock van, and it can do backflips. It's pretty cool. And also being able to change all the settings is also a plus on your phone. You can just run an app on your phone. Come on out of there. I think it's out. It's just a little stuck. Here we go. Just show you here with my cow RC mat. I have these nice little magnetic receptacles so I can keep things the way they were as I took them off. It's kind of cool. Now we get this off. This is a 4mm socket. Take that off. I watched a couple of videos, Cape crawlers and direct RC on the install, but it's still going to take me a minute to figure this out. Okay, we got to take this little plate off. Beep. Beep. Tick. tick, tick. I forgot to turn my mic on there. I am out of practice. Part of the reason it takes me so long to make these videos is people will look at these and just be like, I guess, some people, and will just be like, oh yeah, I see exactly how this goes. And I do not. Ah, there we go. Well, I'm just going to do this until it just bites. I don't want to break any plastic. And somebody walks in and left with a sheepish look. He didn't know I was recording my youngest son. That looks good. It's still all floating around nice. In the package you'll find a couple of long screws. These are the motor mount screws, if you right there. Okay, with a little more research, I've discovered that there are two versions of this, V1 and V2. I have V2, and yes, the motor mounts from this side with the screws going in this way. Blue Loctite stains these mats, so I always have a terry cloth towel around. This is going to take some of the kind of manual dexterity I lack. Put a little blue Loctite on there. I'm going to have to hold this motor and this plate together, right? Just like I'm trying now. Because I just... Dang it. Look. I picked up the two-sided tape. Okay, that's going in there. It's just a comedy of errors with me. Where's that other screw? Here it is. I don't know if this is how things go with you guys, but I am seriously a struggle. Okay. Missed. Okay. No, not okay. Just a touch. Come on. There we go. Think? Yeah. And now we have to set the mesh. Not too tight, not too loose. I'll tighten one up. Whoa. What the heck? Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. Maybe I can't have both of these even. Although the pictures I've seen on the internet, A-Main had a good picture. I also discovered there's one that's number 2638. I'll show a picture of it here. 2638 includes the microstellar transmission. So all of this is aluminum and all the gears are steel. That's 2638. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit looser. That feels good. Tighten those down. Try not to move it. Sometimes I feel like I have the hands of I don't know what, something clumsy. That feels pretty good. I really want to get this to work with the stock electronics because that's one of the advantages of this system is you can just plug it in like I have it here. I move the lights to channel 3 and then I plug the ESC into channel 2 like it should be. But if you look here, in order for this ESC to clear the motor, it has to be moved this far. And I don't think I can trim that much off and still have the ESC here. So I'm going to think about it a little more. I've trimmed this off. I want to keep this support here just for strength, because this does support the shocks as well. It's a shock tower and body post tower, body mount tower. So I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to try to trim this out to fit. Okay, that clears. Okay. So that's that. What do you think? Is this going to fit over top of that ESC? Am I going to be stymied? Lay it in here for a test run. Not even close, actually. Well, this has been a bit frustrating. I'm not going to cut out a hole in the body for the ESC. Turning it off for now so I can cuss. I just wanted to get it running, so I put the ESC here, now acting just as a receiver. The lights don't reach, which kind of sucks, but we'll figure that out. And then I have the micro here, the Furitek ESC, and the truck is squatted because this is hitting. I discovered, though, by looking underneath that if I move this here and this here, it'll close. You'll be able to see it through the window. But the problem is the servo cable won't reach back here. But this Torque 1022 that I was going to save for another video has a cable that'll reach anywhere I need it to. So I'm going to throw that in now so I can move this here and this here and close the body. These are really good servos. I have them on a couple of my rigs, all aluminum. The cool thing is it's a modular design. You can see there's 3 sections here. So Torque can make these specifically for different trucks by changing a piece of the case, whichever ones they need to change. So this will go in without a servo mount, and that will lower the center of gravity and also makes it an easier installation. And if I'm going to throw this kind of torque, it's 12.8 kilograms at 7.4 volts, which this can output. Its standard output's 5.5. I think it goes up to 7.5 or 7.4 through the Furitek app. I'm going to need to get rid of this flimsy stuff. So I also have some steering links from Injora. Mix and matching these two. We'll see how it goes. Oh, but just to show you, with my squatted C10, the control is kind of nuts compared to the stock. And I have a video where I have I'll do a before and after on just a small obstacle on the bench. Another nice thing about the Torque servo is it comes with a nice aluminum servo horn. So the steering's getting a big upgrade here with the links, the horn, and the high output servo. Taking this left front wheel off. We'll see if I can just get away with that, because the screw through the servo mount here and the links comes in from this side. Oh look, a longer screw. That one's a little longer than the one that went through the link, so I gotta remember that. The threads are so tiny on these screws that I think it's out and it's not. That should be it. It's feeling loose now. There we go. There's the servo. Another nice thing about the torque servo is that the wire comes out the rear instead of the side. That reduces the chance of your servo cable interfering with the links. These are nice. Instead of these ball end screws, we have these brass balls. So the screw is going to go through this way from this side. And with these, you can see there's one side that's a little wider than the other. So the wide side doesn't go through. So that's to stop it from backing out. So you always put the wide side towards the screw, just to show you how those go together. So it's over the smaller end, and I just drag it over the ball to the wide end. Put it through. Take another O-ring, that on the narrow end, and there you go. I do have some initial concerns about the geometry of these links. This is the stock, and as you can see, I forget what you call this one, but the top link goes off to the left because the servo horn is off to the right. On the torque, servo is off to the right, but on the Injora link, the hole for the upper link is on the right. Which is not centered. So I don't know, I might have to flip this over and do it this way. Oh, looks better. We'll see once I get it in. Man, I hate drive shafts. Trying to keep them in phase when you have the link, the upper links. I think that's right. Yeah, that's in phase. Oh, now I've got the lower link in the wrong spot. It's gotta go. It's gotta go above the drive shaft. If somebody has some sort of really cool technique to keep these things together, one tip, I'm not sure if you can see in here, every time I do this, I've just struggled for like half an hour with the drive shaft coming loose and getting out of phase, and then the links popping out. If your servo has threaded ears for the link connection, get that started. Then you don't have to struggle with it on the screwdriver trying to get it started. Now that I have it on here, I think that actually, well, the built-in servo mount is nice. I think it's actually higher than stock. When I went to full flex before, this did not come above the frame rails very much at all. The servo, not this, but the other servo. So it's actually a bit higher and a bit heavier, so take that into consideration, although we're going to pick up better performance in the steering. It's very important when you are installing a servo, give it power so that it centers itself before you put on the servo horn. Endura included these tiny little nuts, and I don't think I'm going to use them because how could they not fall off with this amount of bite? And these are threaded, so I'm just going to install it this way without the nut. Let me know if I'm full of crap for doing that. I don't understand how this makes sense. So I'm going to flip this over so that the hole for the upper steering link is on this side, just like it was with stock. I guess the Endura isn't supposed to face up, it's supposed to face the bottom. The steering link is threaded, so I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on there. Why servo horn screws are always Phillips, I'll never understand. So that makes more sense, right? The two-sided tape that came in the Furitek kit is kind of a gel. I didn't really like the way it worked. Stuff that I got off Amazon is way better. Make sure you cut off any exposed ends before you start so that it's sticky. I like using scissors for this. You can always trim it up with a knife later if you want. Scissors can get a pretty nice straight line. I can never cut with a hobby knife very well. Okay, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to tape this here. I'm going to make sure these wires stay off the motor. And then we'll come back. Okay, everything's buttoned up from left to right. Unfortunately, the lights no longer work. The cable doesn't reach the ESC, but I have an extender on order. Then we've got the torque servo in place with the Endura metal links. That seems to be working great. I love that setup. Then I've got the ESC on what's left of the plate that I trimmed in order to make room for the motor and transmission. And right behind that, I have the ESC/receiver from the stock truck on the battery tray. I had to trim the little tab that holds the battery on the back side of the truck so that I could slide the battery back in order to make room. If you hold a wheel, it drags that thing across. It's super strong. So if you're going to put that torque servo in, you definitely should put some metal links. Having the Endura on the bottom and this little nib you might be able to see here, right here, it makes it seem like I installed it upside down, but if I flipped it, as you saw, it just didn't make sense. So this makes more sense. I sort of wish Torque would have made the brackets that go out to the diff a little bit shorter. It would have brought this link down and it would be more parallel. I mean, a longer servo horn would do it too, but I would rather the servo sat a little bit lower, because that's one of the benefits they tout on this on the servos from Torque. But this one is actually sitting higher than the stock. The improvement in crawl performance is sort of miraculous. Stock I've sent 18 before and after. Not much wheel speed difference. This is completely stock, no changes at all, and I'm trying here, I'm no competitive driver, but I'm trying here to go as smooth as I can. And it's just a little herky-jerky stock. And this is after with the Furitek system. It's just phenomenal. Crazy. That was my finger. That was not, but that's just slipping. That's really awesome. Of course, we'll get a little thump here. Maybe not. Awesome. Make sure you like and subscribe because my next video is going to be on my other 24 scale, this FCX24M. I got a bunch of upgrades for that from Brushless.